Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes and an extraordinary bit of news coming out from Scotland's legal profession. Peter Murrell has been banned from selling any property he owns. He's been banned by the Lord Advocate Dorothy Bain. Why? This is very, very well. But apparently it was an imposition that was put in place in June 2024. It's only just been released. Now, this is after he was charged with embezzlement. And so they said, no, you're not allowed to sell any property. This is weird. Presumably, of course, so that he could have sold the property, perhaps. And one of two things could have happened. One, he could have, oh, look, I've found the money. It's here. There's no embezzlement whatsoever. It's magically appeared in a place that we forgot it was in. Or secondly, armed with all that cash, he could have quite simply fled the country and gone somewhere without an extradition treaty, or changed his identity. Who knows? But Paul Hutchinson, who's actually the Daily Record's political editor, said that he discovered this what's called an inhibition had been put in place by Bain back in June 24. Now, this is, I'm going to suggest, a bit odd, because did she act out of any kind of legal outrage, or was she requested to do so by her very dear friend, Cranky? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? All girls together, as it were. But it's there. So he's not allowed to sell property. He's not allowed to take loans out on the property. He's not allowed to even hand the property over to somebody else. He's got to keep hold of that property by law until after any court proceedings. Of course, if he's found innocent, then that inhibition goes away and he can do what he likes with it. If he's, however, found guilty, the court could seize the property, sell it itself, and use that money to refund the people, refund that $600,000. With any profit being taken back, there'd obviously be court costs and things come out, and then he'll get whatever's left. Now, this has been put on a thing called the Register of Inhibitions, which is maintained by the registrars of Scotland. It's an open document; anyone can go and view it. There's no limitation on it. There is a search request form that you fill in, and then you pay a fee. The fee is £30. Now, this Register of Inhibition lists the individual who cannot competently or legally enter voluntary property transactions, which means they cannot begin and they cannot sell any properties, take loans out of the properties, buy any properties, nothing. They're not allowed to deal at all using property. Now, it's called voluntary, which means if, for example, he needed the money to, say, pay for legal costs, the court could consider the selling of the property, but the money would then have to go into a fund controlled by the court, and then any legal fees would be applied to that fund. That's one way around it. But that's the only way, really, is when the court allows it. But the court will not give him the cash. The court holds the cash. Now, Murrell was charged, obviously, with embezzling all these SNP funds. It's all part of branch form, which have been running for donkey's years now. And it's all these allegations. So, ironically started by an SNP member who now himself is being castigated by other SNP members. I just want to know, these are the ones that are castigating him. Are they saying they wanted to have their money stolen? They were happy that Murrell embezzled them? Because if that's the case, I think they need psychiatric help. Don't you? Weird, isn't it? Now, of course, he was the chief executive for 22 years or something, and he even continued in the role after it all started to come to light. And, of course, with him basically as CEO and her as leader on the political side, you had this power couple and their pretended sham lavender marriage, which was meant to stop people thinking that he was gay and she was a lesbian. I don't know why, because A, nobody thinks that the marriage was real. We all know what they truly are. And here's the thing, nobody cares. If she'd have come out 20 years ago and said, oh, well, I happen to be a lesbian, okay, we'll give her a little round of applause for being so stunning and brave. And then we move on, and no one would ever mention it again, because nobody cares, literally. But she thinks people do. But people don't. People just don't give a shit. You know? Anyway, so of course you got all the thing going on with her recently. So, of course, Sturgeon, who is, I can't believe, only 54. I'm 3 years older than Sturgeon, but God almighty, she's not looking good at me. Anyway, she was questioned. I don't know how she hasn't been arrested and charged. Colin Beattie, likewise, don't know how he hasn't been charged. And amongst others, Osgood, I don't know how... Oswald. Kirsten Oswald, I don't know how she wasn't dragged into this. Her name's all over everything, isn't it? Anyway, they've given, on this inhibitions register, they've given Murrell's home address as the marital home in Glasgow's Brewhouse. And despite the split that they have now going through, the couple are still on good terms, they say. And they're still said to be living together. I think living together on paper, as far as I'm aware, Cranky is living with her very good friend and writer over the other side of the city. So I don't know. Val McDermott, I think, probably has a spare room. But, you know, that's how these things. But where did this come from? Like I say, was this Dorothy Bain's instigation, or was this Cranky nudging Bain and saying, here, Dorothy, love, do us a favour, will ya? Pop him on there. No, I'm not even attempting her accent, because it's horrible. But you're basically that, you know, so do us a favour, nudge him onto that, and that'll screw him royally, won't it? And is that what's happened? I mean, to be honest, I don't think anyone would be surprised if that was the case, would you? I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, just there. You know, or it could just be a legal precedent. But either way, it's going to be really bad news for him if he can't raise funds and get a proper defence going on. Not that I want him to, of course. I'd love to see that oaf in prison, sharing a cell with somebody, anybody, somebody big, somebody powerful, somebody who'll put the fear of God into him. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? There we go. So apparently Murrell can't be reached for comment because, of course not. He's hiding. He's sitting there shamefacedly dodging any kind of scrutiny. And Dorothy Bain can't be reached. Sturgeon can't be reached. None of them can be reached. They're all free, aren't they? However, Jackie Bailey, God bless her and all who sail in her, Jackie Bailey's come out. She said the ongoing investigation into Scotland's ruling party has dragged Scottish politics into the gutter. To be honest, it's been in the gutter for quite some time, hasn't it? Hey-ho. Hopefully, Operation Branchform will come to an end. I would love to see Sturgeon charged. I'd love to see Sturgeon in prison, but I don't think we will. But Murrell, I think, is definitely going. He is the fall guy, the patsy. The rest of them will just get on with their lives. Hey-ho, thanks a lot for watching. If you like this video, do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will speak to you later. Bye.